Hello loyal fans and subscribers, Ninamori Fanboy here. Today I have a UU battle with a team I made around Mega Ampharos. I'm actually going to upload this right now. Like I just had this battle a few days ago. Typically I would wait, until I have, 3 battles saved up with a team, like how I've done with Mega Metagross and, who else? I can't even remember the first one. Garchomp. I've done that so far, but I'm going to split this up. One, because it's even more difficult to find UU battles than it is OU battles, and 2, because, like I said, I've only had 2 battles with this team so far, and I wanted to show this one because my opponent, Scoot here, shout out to Scoot. If you don't know who he is, check out the link to his accounts in the description. Definitely check him out. He recorded this battle also, and it is live, so definitely go check that out if you haven't. Anyway, about the team, like I mentioned, it is Mega Ampharos. I'm not Agility, because I figured that's too predictable or gimmicky. I'm just, all-out attacker, modest max, special attack and HP. My specially defensive Swampert with Stealth Rock, and physically defensive Fortress with spikes. I figured they can both be nice. Got some decent hazard stacking. Then I got my Bandit Entei, pretty nice to just wreck stuff with E-Speed or Sacred Fire. Then I got Mienshao to just come in, take care of things that Mega Ampharos can't. And last but not least, I got my Cresselia. It's a pretty standard Cresselia with like Thunder Wave over Toxic and Lunar Dance over Psyshock. So Scoot's got a pretty scary looking team. I didn't know how I would fare looking at team matchup, but I decided to lead with Fortress, not knowing who he'd lead with really, but we'll see what happens. So let's just get started, because we're already, like 5 minutes into the narration and the battle hasn't even started yet. He leads with Swampert and I lead with Fortress. Great matchup for me because it turns out he's actually a Mega Swampert. I think that was the only potential Mega on his team anyway. But as you can see, I expected Stealth Rock turn 1, but he actually goes for Waterfall and does like no damage to me as I get a bit of leftovers. He did flinch me, but I mean, unless he wants to stay in and try to flinch me to death, I will be able to get up spikes and spin away his rocks that he did decide to set up. Oh, but not before getting off a Toxic on Mega Swampert, because I don't really have much to OHKO it. I don't have, like, Hidden Power Grass on my Ampharos, or, like, anything. I don't think anything else can learn it. Maybe Cresselia can learn, like, Energy Ball or something. So here he goes for Earthquake, trying to do as much damage as he can, and does more than I expected, but still not enough to be a 2-hit KO even, so I'm going to set up my spikes after okay, is this only... Yeah, okay. So after this turn, I will spin away his rocks. He opts to withdraw here. I believe goes out to the Jolteon, yes. And like I said, I do just get rid of the rocks that he set up. I figured that would be more important than getting up a second layer of spikes on his side of the field, So at this point, I don't want to switch anything in to just get Volt switched out of and then him have, even more initiative. So I just decided to stay in and sack my Fortress. I didn't know if he would take me out, but he is Life Orb, so that is enough to take me out, unfortunately. I mean, not really unfortunate. I mean, if I did survive, I would have gotten up another layer of spikes. He didn't have any hazard removal on his field, so that's why another reason I wanted to lead with Fortress. I debated leading Swampert, but I felt he would lead with Jolteon, and I didn't know if it would have HP Grass or something. Anyway, now I can go out into my Mienshao as he went out to his Poison Swampert, and I was going to fake out that thing, get a little Toxic damage off, and then take it out with a high jump kick, but he hard switches into this Metagross, which I didn't know why. I kind of felt that he would be Choice Scarfed, and I didn't want to risk, just straight up dying to a Zen Headbutt. So I switched hard into my Cresselia as he does go for Zen Headbutt, and based on that damage, I felt he was scarfed, but upon watching his point of view of this battle, it turns out he is choice banded. So that was a choice banded Zen headbutt that Cresselia took, like, easily. So, I mean, like I said, I should have known that, because during this whole battle, I was under the impression that that thing was scarfed, which is why I tried to paralyze it right there as he switched in this Snorlax. But I don't want to stay in under, in this position. So I'm just going to withdraw, go out to my Swampert, and finally get my Stealth Rock up. As I don't remember what he does here. Yeah, he gets fully paralyzed already, so a little bit of hacks, but you'll see he gets something right back. Because first turn, okay, Curse. I thought he went for Body Slam and got a para. But he does set up a Curse right here, and I want to get him in range where he'll be in a position where he wants to rest. Since, Curse lacks is, it curses up and then rests. Oh, I get another full para. I didn't remember that one, but I'm just going for Earthquakes because, like I said, I want to get him in a position where he goes for rest so I can bring in my Mienshao safely. But like I said, he does use Body Slam and gets the para. Now, expecting him to rest finally, I go into my Mienshao, but he actually doesn't even have rest. He goes for self-destruct, and I could not believe when this happened. Self-destruct on Curslax. I lost my Mienshao for it after, switching out when I could have gotten off a huge dent in this thing, Optimus. Keep saying Mega Metagross, but it's just Metagross. So I don't want to get hit with an Earthquake, so I just switch out to my Cresselia. Still under the impression that he's scarfed, like I said. But he goes for Meteor Mash, and I didn't expect that because I had like 3 Pokemon left that resisted Meteor Mash, and one of them was on the field. But he opted to go for Meteor Mash, expecting my Cresselia. Now here, since he missed, I didn't expect him to, No, he didn't miss. He was full... Oh, yeah, Wow. I thought he was fully parried, but he's not even paralyzed. So, he just missed Meteor Mash as I brought in my Cresselia, so I didn't expect him to stay in, because I didn't think he would do that much, but he wanted to, risk getting attack raises with missing, and, I couldn't do anything to his Metagross other than paralyze it, which I figured he would fear because, as I've been saying, I thought he was scarfed this whole time, but he is actually banded, but I didn't know that, so I figured he would, of course, fear the paralysis and switch out to, like, his Crawdaunt or something, but he didn't, and I took quite a bit of unnecessary damage because of that. So here he goes out to his Swampert as I get fully paralyzed right there. Now, expecting him to get up his Stealth Rock, I'm going to go for Earthquake to hopefully take this thing out. As he does decide to set up his rocks. And I do get off this Earthquake, which combined with the poison damage will be enough to take out this Mega Swampert. Pretty epic showdown right here, Swampert versus Mega Swampert. And looks like Swampert came out on top. There were certainly no other factors involved either. So here he can go out to Crawdaunt, and I just want to get a little bit of chip damage with Earthquake so that Extreme Speed can take it out. So he goes for Swords Dance. I didn't know if he'd be Swords Dance or Dragon Dance or even Banded, but he's Swords Dance, the worst of the case. And even worse, I get fully paralyzed. So I can't even put him in range of Extreme Speed, which meant at this point I thought he could just run through the rest of my team with this Crawdaunt. But I do have one more option, and that is my Mega Ampharos. Even at +2, he can't take me out with anything. I have to Mega Evolve though, so I will be losing a bit of speed in addition to getting, Dragon type, and then Florges would be able to pretty much wall me. Well, he would wall me anyway, but you know what I mean. He'd be the all-around good switch against me. Now, I went for Dragon Pulse because I felt he would go into Jolteon expecting my Volt switch, completely forgetting that Mega Ampharos has Mold Breaker, so that would have probably taken it out anyway. So that was a huge misplay on my part. I completely forgot about Mold Breaker. It's just one of those abilities that I always forget about. I don't know why. It's just like, when I think of them, I don't think of their ability, you know? I think of like their other redeeming qualities. Their ability just kind of doesn't stick out to me. It's kind of like Trace on Mega Alakazam. But either way, he went for Moonblast as I brought in my Entei, got a crit, and I mean, not much I can do about it, but I'm not sure it mattered much either, because I'm going to go for Sacred Fire here, hoping he stays in, but he actually sacks his Jolteon right now, which was fine by me, because like I said, at the time I completely forgot that, you know, Mold Breaker would have probably taken it out. Then again, he was at that much health. I don't know if Mega Ampharos could have done that much damage with a Volt Switch, but like I said, I could have just, since I Volt Switched, I could have went out to my Entei, then went for Extreme Speed, not been in the position where I was in, because now I'm locked into Extreme Speed, and he can go for Aqua Jet and take me out. So, a bit of unfortunate turn of events from not remembering about Motor Drive. Why do I keep saying Motor Drive? It's Mold Breaker. It says right there, Mold Breaker, and I had no idea this entire battle. At this point, I am just going to go for Volt Switch because his Jolteon is dead, so I can freely do it, even though I could have freely done it before. There was nothing stopping me, except my own lack of remembering things. And I was surprised by how much damage that Volt Switch did. But, you know, it's still not quite enough that I need. At this point, it's Cresselia versus Florges, and I physically cannot win in this situation, so I'm just going to go for Thunder Wave to hope to get extremely lucky with Paralysis, because this Cresselia especially cannot beat that Florges, so I went for Thunder Wave, you know, hoping to either paralyze that Florges and get really lucky, or hoping even harder that he would hard switch into this Metagross, which he ended up doing, because I thought this was great that, you know, I could, I could outspeed his Scarfed, what's his name? Metagross. Not Mega Metagross, just Metagross, and, you know, potentially come back. But he goes for Meteor Mash, does over half, I think, and gets an attack raise. Okay, not over half, but he gets an attack raise. But at this point, I realize my best chance is to just Lunar Dance right here. And I do just that, bring my Mega Ampharos back to full health. And if I was Agility, this would be great because I have a free opportunity right here to Agility. But like I mentioned, I'm not Agility. And if I was Agility, I would probably have to be Timid, which meant that I wouldn't have done as much damage as I did to that Florges earlier with that Volt Switch. But other than that, being Agility right here would have been pretty great, in my opinion. But I do go for Thunderbolt right here, take out this Metagross. It's just, if I would have had a turn right there to Agility it, like I've been saying, which meant that this Crawdon wouldn't have been able to come in and get off this huge bit of damage with this knockoff. That did over half. So, if he... I'm pretty sure he could have taken me out with knockoff at +2 earlier and just swept me with that Crawdon, you know, and we wouldn't have had to deal with any of this. But he, watching his point of view of the battle, he didn't know if I was, you know, physically defensive or whatever. But his Florges ends up coming in after I take out his Crawdon, almost faints to the hazards, but doesn't, and outspeeds my Mega Ampharos because I wasn't Agility. And was able to take me out because it does, like, I think 54 to 68% with Moonblast. And that was definitely more health than I was at, because, like I said, that knockoff did so much damage. But either way, that was the battle against Scoot. A very good battle. Like I said, I'm uploading this first because Scoot already uploaded his battle. And in case any of you guys watching this haven't seen his video or aren't familiar with who he is, definitely go check him out. It's a very entertaining video, so go check that out, as well as the rest of his videos. And like I said, I will periodically upload any UU battles I have. Like, I think my next video will just go on to my next OU team, because, you know, UU battles are so hard to find. But either way, thank you for watching this video. Look forward to upcoming battles. If you'd like to battle me, let me know somehow, and have a good day.